C, back pocket. Okay?
Hey, boys.
All right.
Use your voice all day. Use your voice, okay? Yeah. Swannaroos on 3. 1, 2, 3. Swannaroos! Let's go, boys! 1, 2, 3, 3.
Song in that order was fantastic.
From the Kino South Sports Complex in Tucson, Arizona, it's the 2025 United States-Australian Football League National Championships presented by Tasmanian. We have a men's Division II match as the San Diego Lions play their first games of the day and of this tournament as they take on the 0-1 Austin Crows. The Crows falling to DC Eagles by 20 points in the game earlier today, and they would love to finish out pool play in this 6-team round-robin format with a split record and hopefully a chance at the semifinals. Good day, everyone. I'm Brian Barish back here with you. Pleased to be joined you once again by Dan Sarbacker. And San Diego, a team that almost reminds me, and this is a deep cut, of the Hanshin Tigers a little bit. And they always seemed like they were right behind the Tokyo Giants. They always seemed in that decade like they were right behind the Denver Bulldogs. Here they are again. They're steadily making their way up. They had a spell back in Division I. They're back in D2. They're the second seed overall, and they really are going to come in with a fierce against a team an Austin team that generally has a lot of depth, but it is going to be tough.
Yeah, good side here. Maybe a little bit of an emotional boost for them. Heard through the rumor mill, Justin Valley, a longtime stalwart of this team and former Revo player, might be retiring after this season. So maybe the guys get around him and do it for him in this one. So yeah, we'll see how the Lions come out.
I was going to say all things must end as George Harrison. I was going to say George Carlin. My goodness. Justin Valley, as you had said, he's been a stalwart in this competition, and it'll be sad to see him go, but he has put in so much hard work in the renaissance for the San Diego Lions.
Yeah, watch for him on that half-forward line.
We're underway once again. The Lions are in the maroon jumpers, and in a season where the Brisbane Lions won yet another championship.
Sorry to cut you off, Brian. Justin Valley just getting awarded that free kick. I don't know if it was a throw or what, but he's getting into the action straight away.
Absolutely. They're kicking to the left of screen as Austin is in the white jumpers. They're wearing what looks like the old Austin Crows throwback jumper or alternate jumpers. And I would say in some ways I like them more than their regular ones. But there is a mark taken there by the vice captain and Lucas Golson, and he's one of the players that we highlighted in the preview.
Dangerous to give Justin Valley the ball, that early in the game on a free kick. Golkus with a great lead out. I think he caught his defender completely off guard because he might have had like 6 meters of space anytime he took possession of that ball off of Justin's boot. The shot on goal here coming.
As Golson lines up and sends this one on the way, and it was a Wilbur post. Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, the San Diego Lions draw first blood. They lead 1-0. Just a quick trip around the grounds to see the other games that are being played. The Minnesota Freeze taking on Philadelphia and Boston over on Men's Division 3. Men's Division 2 is happening over on Field 3 as Seattle takes on the LA Dragons. And in D4 play, it's the Denver Reserves and the Wasatch War Goals. So plenty of action going on here, not just here in front of us on Cooper's Field.
Pushing the back. There's some nuance for those that aren't familiar in pushing the back calls. You can go into contests with straight arms, extended, no bend in the elbow to keep your space. In that instance, the defender that gave away the free kick for San Diego pushed with bent arms, pushed in the back of the defender.
Out to the near side now, going after it and trying to go and pick that one up. Almost couldn't pick it up cleanly as it went off of Andrew Bell's knees and able to come out to the near side. Going to get picked up there by Lindner, and Lindner Throws this one onto the right foot. Contest upcoming off the hands of Valley, who got high and is slow to get up. I don't think he realized he could still jump that high, but by God he could as the ball gets taken down. And that'll be wrapped up for Hanukkah. And the umpire crosses his arms like the Monsignor. Will have a ball up as Quincy Hildreth puts his hand up to nominate in the ruck for San Diego. Ball comes to ground, and it's over the top. Goes over now into the pocket. Ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it is still 1-0 in favor of San Diego.
Big Justin Valley, number 29, doing a bit of everything. He's going to ruck now. He just picked up the ball off the ground and ended up sliding off the side of his boot. He was in that last aerial contest, and he had the Ford 50 entry goal scorer involvement already. So he's getting leather poisoning at this point.
Ball going to get picked up, going to get sent in. Ball goes up on the way. It looks like a goal for San Diego. Picked up and put home by Hunter Gallagher. And Gallagher, Hunter, and Gallagher, and Hunter, yes, sure, why not? And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, the Yians go to 1-1-7, and Austin reserved yet to score.
Gallagher clever there with the little sidestep, little salsa dance move, maybe through the hips one direction, as you'd expect him to go to his right side as a right-footed player. The defender bit hard on that, and he just shuffled the hips back to the left to clear up that shooting lane again for himself and slotted a really nice goal. That'll go in the highlight reel. Around
the grounds for Watch AFL, Seattle leading 1-0 over the LA Dragons. Seattle playing their first game of the day as the top seed in Pool A. The LA Dragons losers earlier today against the Baltimore Dockers, and in a game that was our first game of the day. And Baltimore, after what it seemed like it was going to be a tussle, ended up being a relatively straightforward Baltimore victory. Austin with it now, trying to get it out of there. They do. Out to the near side, looking and through the hands. Going after that one was Christian Hogan, and the ball gets taken down, lines this one up, and he was affected by the tackle, and that one has gone over the boundary line out on the full, and it has bounced 3/4 of the way down the the pickleball courts.
Good again from Gallagher. A quick turn after collecting the ball. He didn't square up his hips. Maybe still a little too much salsa in him from that last trip down the field, but didn't square up his hips and ended up spraying to the left of the sticks. But really positive signs early for San Diego.
You got to put down the salsa and pick up the pico de gallo. You ought to give it a tryo, especially if you're from Ontario, as the ball comes out to the near side. Who thought I was going to work a trout fishing in America reference into the broadcast as the ball gets handled down on the far side now. Going to get picked up, and it goes around, and lots of things happening, and we'll have a free kick, and we'll go back the other way. San Diego, I just noticed, they have the word San Diego. It looks like the Lions, the Brisbane Lions jumpers, but they have the word San Diego written above the lion. That's a great put in there by Hogan, who was able to smother the ball but not affect the possession, as this was Lindner who sends this one down. Ball pops high in the air, going to stay with it. There was Loper. Loper stayed with it, now tried to center that one in, ricocheted off of somebody's head, tried for a gazelle-type gather, but not on this day. Punched out to the far side, turn and fire. Filippo Soronis, one of the two brothers that we spotlighted, alongside Iason, which I think is just Jason but in Greek. But for Philippus Soronis, it's a goal, and on the Watch AFL scoreboard, they go to 2-1-13. No score for Austin, and we have played 6 minutes of this opening turn.
Yeah, Brian, as you're working through your Greek letters, a bit of iota kicked, iota smothered, iota whatever.
Yeah.
A couple of chances there for Austin. Seven Hogan had that smother here in the middle of the ground. He actually chased up and nearly had another one. If he did, that would have prevented that entry into forward 50, but the determination of the Lions at this point shining through. There has hardly been an ounce of play in Austin's forward half of the field.
And we've seen that a lot, and I think that might show you the strength of the Lions in this team as he gets knocked down. Ball comes out to the near side. We'll tell you about a permutation in just a moment, but here is a kick forward by Daniel Ruiz and a nice mark over in the pocket. And setting that one up nicely was Curtis Bileski. Bileski sends this one in towards the sticks. It's going to curl back. Marks! Woo! He was one of 3 in there, and he took it.
There, Brian, the counter example from that penalty that was paid earlier for pushing the back. In this instance, from the moment that ball was in flight, he was holding his space with his arms outstretched, creating that opportunity for him to collect that ball as it dropped into his basket.
And Lucas Golson makes no mistake from 15 meters out. Third goal for the Lions. They go to 3-1-19. And Austin reserves yet to score. Brian Barish here with you alongside Dan Sarbacker, the USAFL International Program Head and a former member of the USA Revolution, a former coach with the USA Revolution, former Chicago Swan, former St. Louis Blue, former Milwaukee Bomber, former Wisconsin Wombat. Did I get all of them?
Former Mansfield Eagle for my tour in time in Australia. Yep.
Mansfield Eagle?
Yep, yes, sir.
That would be Mansfield, Victoria, not Mansfield, Pennsylvania.
Correct. A little further away. Shout out to the Mansfield boys in the Goulburn Valley League. Made finals again this year. I think we're 3rd on the ladder going into finals.
Nice.
So, yeah, I had another good season there for the lads.
Ball back in the middle once again. And a big tackle, a big bump put in there. Trying to get it there was Ryan Milne. And he Winnie the Pooh-Poohed that ball up on the far side. That was terrible, Brian. Why did you say that? Up on the far side now as over the top. Again, going after Loper, not able to get it. And the fall up on the far side. And Loper tried to lope the ball forward, does, in front of a lot of people. There was a lot of people gathered in between. And as you can see, Field 2 is on the other side of that field. And, of course, we have Troy Thompson and Patrick Machado going back and forth between the two games. And there's a lot. I'll tell you what, that is a busy corridor on that side of the field.
Yeah, you talk about up the guts on a footy ground. There's definitely an up the guts between the ovals here at Nationals, as all the teams have set up tents in between that space. There's the Field 2 broadcast, the scissor lift to get the cameras gone over there. So that is like the main alley that we can see. It's a little quieter.
Golson around the corner. This would be a goal and a half, but it's off to the side. And Golson is up and about. He's got it going on early. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it is a 3-20.
He's a big unit, isn't he, Brian?
Yep.
He's got a commanding force out in that forward line. And then with somebody like Justin Valley on the half-forward line, makes a ton of sense because that's got that tiered attack then for Brisbane. Two big-bodied forwards for them to target.
You just called them Brisbane.
Oh, I'm sorry. San Diego.
That's funny. Well, I'm telling you, they look exactly like it's the same pattern and everything.
Yep, exact same jumpers.
My
apologies.
That's funny. I was like, listen, right now they're up like the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Lions fans. I'm sure there's some Port Adelaide fans out there that love to see the fact that the Crows team is getting whipped. But we'll see what happens as this one goes up onto the far side and now sent down the ground. It's a big high hop. That's about the second or third one we've seen, but getting to it nicely was Coffey. And Coffey sends this one back the other way, out to the near side, right through the wickets, and we'll have a ball up.
Justin Valley really clever there. He is so fleet-footed and dynamic of a player. He was second to that lead, but as the defender fumbled it and didn't take a clean intercept mark, he just snatched it right out of the air in front of the guy's face and played on.
For a man his size, that he is fleet-footed, especially.
Incredibly nimble. I loved playing with him. We were roommates in the 2008 International Cup. He's always been really cerebral about his football. Really smart guy, coaches this team, and he's got him in good nick.
He's a nice guy, too. Bielski sends this one deep. This is going to be awfully close, but it's going to be marked on the line by the Crows. We haven't really talked about a whole lot, but they really have been second best on the football so far, and right now they haven't had much of an opportunity on their offensive half of the field, but there's a chance in front, and their gulf has gotten a little bit wider as San Diego adds another score. Watch AFL scoreboard, San Diego 4-26, and Austin yet to score, and we have about 8.5 minutes to go in this first half.
Brian, I don't want to read into it too much, but we've seen Austin's reserve side win championships in the second division in the past. Obviously, it doesn't look like the team on the park today is going to do that. So you start to ask the questions: do they not have the depth they used to? You know, maybe is this a year that Austin gets beat at Division I? Who knows? Who knows? But we start to wonder.
Well, I also feel like as good as they are, I think Division II is a lot stronger than a lot of people have. I don't know that they've won nationals in Division II, but they've won at the reserve level. So we'll see. We'll see. It is. I mean, they're definitely not getting embarrassed. I think they're getting outclassed right now by a very good San Diego Lions team. And we should mention, by the way, that if the Lions do win this game, they will secure their spot in the semifinals. They'll play the winner of the opposite group, which includes Seattle, LA, and Baltimore. So 2 of those 3 teams will make it to the semifinals. San Diego has it again in the middle of the ground thanks to Milne, who sends this one out to the far side, and it's going to be taken by the Crows, who trail again 26 to nothing, and have the ball in the center of the ground. Setting this one up on the far side, it will go through. And dog pile on the rabbit. We'll have a ball up on the far side.
Yeah, it's worth remembering, Ryan, with 3 team pools, so a 6-team division, that there would be a couple of sides out of Division II that in an 8-team format would be in Division I. So the quality is obviously there at the top of this division, and we may be seeing one of those class sides now. You said San Diego with the opportunity to qualify for the semifinals here with a win this afternoon and secure that. I think we're looking at a really good football side this afternoon.
Yeah, the runners of each pool will play the runners up in each division. The 2 teams that come in 3rd place will come in. We'll play that crossover, right? Yep. Sorry, I'm sitting here thinking about more than one thing at once, which is dangerous.
Well, there's a lot going on at once.
There really is, and it's also
you're managing scores around the ground and scores on this field and broadcasts and that. It's a lot of action.
Yeah, we're getting like some comments from folks that are watching the stream. So there's a lot of things that are happening. And the ball's up on the far side. A ball comes down to ground, and now they have it up.
Big tackle.
Great tackle. And here they come once again. Sent that one forward. Clean bowls, 1 player. Staying with it. There is Bielski, but Austin able to clear it out for now. Over the hands to Hops. Going to get picked up. And dancing forward is Bell. Ding-dongs the ball forward. Almost taking the mark up over the top, and the ball goes.
That was Hogan there from the Crows.
Yep.
He's been scrappy today. He's getting himself involved in a lot of places. A couple of 1%ers here and there. That's a nice intercept mark, though, back in the pocket.
Ball will get taken now. With it is the 70 for Arizona, or rather for Austin. Big crunch in there. And then the ball is sent forward, and it's marked. And that will end that. San Diego hanging on to the lead here. Still about 5 minutes to go. Feel like this first half has really kind of dragged on a little bit. Not complaining, of course, just saying I feel like we should be done. And it's just one of those.
Yeah, I think that's a product of the vast majority of the game getting played in just half the field. And while Austin's certainly not out of this, they're holding tough. It really condenses the game. We've watched almost all of it take place in the Brisbane. Gosh, I did it again. In the San Diego forward half of the field. I really want to drag that Austin offensive players that are just out of touch back into the play a little more.
And we'll have the opportunity. This one is sent down the ground. And the mark is taken over the top there by Connor Ross. Ross with the football up on the far side. Going to be sending this one down the ground. Ball gets knocked, one-on-one contest. And now it's going to get picked up. Sending it down the side. Off the top, 2, 3, 4 bites of the cherry. Not paid the mark, though, was Ludeman. And Ludeman will play it up the far side. I'll tell you what, that would have been an impressive mark.
Great effort no matter what.
And they were able to keep the ball going over the top, cleared everybody, ricochets back in front. There is Bielski, who throws in a tackle. Not gone, or was it? Yes, it was, and it is a free kick. So says the umpire.
Jeez, Huesler, the big full forward for San Diego there. I would have loved to see him just crash that pack. He was a little bit hesitant coming in because there were bodies in the way already. He is such a big unit. He will get to go wherever he wants if he acts like a runaway train that he could be.
He looks like a soccer goalie, kind of making it says, do I punch or do I gather?
Yeah, caught in 2 minds, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he did. I mean, it wasn't a bad result, but he was able to kind of keep the ball in front of him and keep the ball in play.
Maybe a touch of self-preservation up as much as they are.
There's that too, as the ball gets knocked in front. This is Lindner, who has it but was knocked sideways, but he has a friend who tries to go in. Wasn't 15 anyway. Gets away, looking for a friendly face. That was Heusler, who goes and finds not Loper, that would have been Lindner, and they turn it back inside to a wide-open Justin Valley. Valley will backpedal all the way back. He's about 70 meters for goal. It goes off the side of his foot. Austin able to keep it in play. Tried to get the ball forward and does. Going to get picked up. And the ball goes.
Austin obviously well coached. They're doing a lot of the right things. You know, you see the chase and the hustle right there to apply that tackle. So they're creating turnovers. They're creating possession opportunities for themselves. They just haven't been able to really build going forward. So what we're probably seeing here is a little bit more class out of San Diego. Austin certainly no slouches, and there again another phenomenal tackle. We'll see what the umpire actually pays here. Did he pay a tackle? I'm missing the signal, and he's not pointed a direction either. Is that San Diego's ball? Sorry for the confusion. We're just waiting on signals from the umpire. Okay, it is San Diego's ball, so something illegal about the tackle. But the hustle's been there, and they're creating turnovers. They just haven't been able to string enough passes together, and I think that's a big credit to the way San Diego's structured behind the football, able to rebound that.
Ball now on the far side, comes out, and it's going to get picked up once again by Lindner. Lindner is sending this one in and marked over the top nicely, and a little bit of harassment afterwards, but able to hold on to the football was Curtis Bielski. 4-2-26 still, and Bielski trying to add to it as we are going to check around the grounds in just a moment. And we have an interview coming up with Tyler from Movember at the halftime break, so stay tuned for that. Sending this one is up on the way. It is dead center. Perfect. Goal to the San Diego Lions. They go to 5-2-33. And Austin yet to score, and that's just classy from the Austin Crows.
Well, I don't care who you are, Brian. Five goals and a half here, or same amount of time as a quarter of football in a full-length game is a lot of goal production. San Diego's really stringing together some nice sequences. The rebounding's been great. We've barely seen the ball travel past the midpoint of the field. I'd guess 80 or 85% or better of the play has gone left of screen for us to the west in the San Diego's offensive end. We'll expect that to switch in the next half. Not much wind to affect that.
No.
That either way, but Austin to get back in this, got to stay with the hustle, got to stay with the tackling, but then they need to start connecting passes after they disrupt San Diego's efforts.
Absolutely. Well, as we said, San Diego, they're really just taking it to the Austin Crows. They lead 32-0. That's on the Watch AFL scoreboard. A quick around the ground. Seattle in other Division II play leads LA 22-0. And in Division IV play, it's the Denver Bulldogs reserves leading the Wasatch War Goals 29-12. Hi. Well, we have we have a number of major sponsors, a number of sponsors who we have over the course of the weekend. We've mentioned Tasmanian, we've mentioned Visit Tucson, we've mentioned Cooper's, of course. But one of our sponsors over the last couple of years, and a great effort which has been initiated by the gentleman to my left, is Movember. And here to talk about this from the Houston Lone Stars is Dave Bryant. Dave, of course, a former member of the executive board, and Dave, you're the one who spearheaded this Movember movement. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you, Brian. We've partnered with Movember. People don't realise this, but it goes back as far as 2012. But in 2019, we reconnected with Movember and started the USAFL Challenge, which has been a really competitive but fun way to bring awareness for Movember's efforts and the causes that it supports, and it's been really great ever since.
So talk about some of the challenges. One of the things that I've really loved seeing is the Movember Challenge, and you see people men and women grow out their mows in one way or another. Talk about that and what some of the plans are for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've done the Movember Challenge, as I said, since 2019, and it's been really good engagement by the clubs to get involved and behind the cause. We've had anywhere between 12, 15 clubs participate with, in some years, up to 70, 80 Mo Bros and Mo Sisters, all growing or moving or doing something for the moment of men's health. So it's been really supportive.
And what I like about it is that all the clubs are getting involved, especially like the lower lower division clubs. Like I know Virginia's been involved, so it's great to see like everybody is getting involved. As we said, some of the women as well are getting involved in raising awareness for this as well.
Absolutely, and everyone can participate. And the beauty of it is that it's really all about raising awareness and people taking the time to think about men's health in and around their own circles, but also in a club environment where people can find hardship and you may not know about it. So this is really just trying to get that conversation started so that we can really do something about it.
And talk about what some of we were doing. We have Tyler, right? Tyler
Miller's here with us from Movember. Appreciate the support out here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know if you wanted to come and say hello, but you can if you'd like. We'll do it. Yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, as we said, Movember is one of the many initiatives that we have. And thank you so much for coming down from LA for this as well. Talk about like some of the interactions you've had this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been amazing. This is my first time coming out to a USAFL event. It's really cool to be able to check out the sport, obviously, and then just be able to have that one-on-one FaceTime with some people throughout the organizations. Just being able to talk to Movember a little bit more, some of the impact that we've been able to share with a lot of our programs that we have, and then also being able to talk to people that are on the ground as well, people that are in the communities every day, being able to grow out their mows and raise money for great awareness.
I'm starting fresh in November.
Yeah.
That's why I have this. And another thing I love about something like this is especially when we deal with men's health. I mean, sports is a great foundation for that, because obviously men play sports and there's a lot of that. So I know that you've probably seen obviously with us, but around the different sports there's really been, it seems like a lot of organizations, there's really been an embracing of this as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And with Movember, we're wanting to meet men where they're at. So sports being one of them. A lot of men are get into sports, whether it's Australian rules football, professional hockey, basketball. It's either they're playing or they're going to those events to watch. So for us, it's a matter of meeting them where they're at, so that they're able to get the best support and resources that they need without having to stray too far away. So we're kind of meeting them in the middle and being able to provide those resources out in a common space.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for everything you do. I can speak from the voice of experience that mental health, especially when it comes on the men's side, is very important. Having gone through my own stuff, and we really appreciate the work that you and everybody at Movember has done, and to you, Dave, for really taking this and spreading it across the USAFL. Thank you so much for coming out. Keep up the good work, and yeah, go Mo.
Awesome. Yeah. Sign up at Movember.com this year for your chance to continue to grow out a mustache and raise some great awareness for men's mental health, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And thank you so much. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks
awesome.
for joining us here as we get set here at halftime as this Division II game, as San Diego leads Austin by the score once again on the Watch AFL scoreboard of 32-0. And the teams are coming back out on the field for the second half. So we're just about set. And Dan Sarbacker, as he joins me again. SARS, I know we can talk very briefly about that. I think having gone through, like I've mentioned as well, mental health and also prostate cancer awareness and all that other stuff is very important.
Yeah, and what a great organization, right? And I think, long time ago, St. Louis, the club I started with, we'd grow out funny mustaches for nationals before Movember was a thing, and so it's something that I think we can all get behind, whether you wear one seriously or you wear one for a costume or a joke, or you wear one for a month. They're noticeable, they draw attention, and it starts a conversation, and that's what's really critical. So we're thrilled to be partnered with them in this way, and the USAFL and the members, players, people up and down the league have done an awesome job getting behind that in past years.
Yeah, it really has, and it's great to see another initiative.
I expect nothing else in 2 weeks other than some dusty lips starting to grow out their mows.
I was going to say, some of those things are going to become butterflies at some point.
Yep.
All right, teams are back on the field. San Diego and the maroon jumpers, And the Austin Crows reserves are in the white jumpers, and we are underway here in the second half.
I don't expect much of a different half. San Diego won't want to take the foot off the gas in any way. But as we mentioned in an earlier broadcast, without a lot of wind, sometimes you see a scoring end of the ground for reasons unknown. So we'll see if Austin can maybe find a few goals at this end of the sticks. I think it's been the more favorable end on the day.
Good pick out of the air. Sorry, by
right.
Quincy Hildreth, who found Sironis. As the ball goes inside, staying with it, and then going and picking that one up. Bielski tried with a stiff arm, couldn't get out of the second tackle, and it was given as a high contact, and the umpire very quickly comes in, so it was high contact as he got him around the neck. It's Curtis Bielski.
Geez, he's quick, man. He closed on that ball really quickly to create that opportunity for himself.
Like a librarian, you might say, as that one is punched free. Ball bounces out into the pocket, little handball out to the near side, and it's a big tackle. And the mark is taken, is taken by Hunter Gallagher.
One of the Crows there in a crunching tackle. He had almost no time or space, but apparently enough for the umpire to have had prior opportunity. And boy, San Diego, if they continue this pressure throughout the tournament, are going to be a tough side to contest with because they're rebounding so quickly after gaining possession.
Exactly, and they're really doing well, I think, to also, as they do here. Bielski was wide open, and he has a free kick, and it will come from about a 65-degree angle. When he lets go, it'll be from 40 meters out. Bielski's kick is on the way. The wind just starts to pick up, and I think he was expecting it to drift across. It didn't. In fact, it was taken on the last line of defense there by the Austin Crows as they kick out from the highway side to our right. Up on the far side, we talked about Movember as one of our sponsors. One of our major sponsors is Tasmania. And, of course, the wine here today, Jan's Sparkling Wine, named after Abel Janzoon Tasman, the Dutch explorer who sighted Tasmania in navigating Australia back in 1642 and navigating the forward line. Another San Diego goal. And that there may be the one that gives them the victory and sends them into the semifinals. That was Stephen Loper. And San Diego has kicked their sixth. They go to 6-2-38.
It looks like they might have started to put the nail in the coffin here. They'd probably enjoy one of those cool climate wines right now from Tasmanian. Clinking the glasses a little bit. I think this one might be out of reach at this point. But they're still doing what's made them successful. They're relentless around the pressure. Austin's struggling to get clean connections out of their back, and that gives San Diego relatively easy possessions and intercepts across the center of the field, which they've rebounded immediately.
Ball comes rebound back in, handballs it from behind, but he's gone. The important thing there was he didn't push the player in the back, he wrapped the player. Otherwise, he would have given away the free kick. Instead, he earns it, and the ball stays in play. And here come the Lions, sending this one in, drops in front. Again, that's Loper, dances away, handballs to Justin Valley, sending this one in to a wide open Bielski.
What a delicate kick. The touch that Justin Valley placed on that kick, it was probably only about a 25-meter kick, but he executed it just perfectly. He didn't put too much on it, made it easy for Bielski to collect.
That was a lemon meringue kick, silky smooth. It was like a souffle.
It's a bit of whip on top.
Whew. And now for the cherry on top of said souffle, as here is Bielski on the wind. Fading right, did it sneak in? It did. Goal to Curtis Bielski. I was going to call him Lucas. There's a lot of Lucases on that team. But a goal to the San Diego Lions, and they go to 7-2-50.
Brian, I think that was a microcosm of the whole game we've watched here. Tons of hustle and grit out of Austin to apply that tackle. In the previous sequence, it was inside their 50, their defensive 50. So the turnover, they kick out. A hustle across the midlines from San Diego spoils that. They collect. They're inside 50 to Justin. The nice touch to Bielski, and there's a goal. Microcosm of what we've seen today.
Yeah, absolutely. That it really is just playing out so well. As we take a look around the grounds and tell you, we have Seattle Well, it looks like Seattle is going to clinch a spot in the semifinal, 2 alongside Baltimore. 4-7-31 for Watch AFL. They lead LA no score in Division 4. It's the Denver Bulldogs reserves leading Wasatch 29-12. So some strong victories here, and the top 2 sides, the top seeds, both Seattle and San Diego, are right now just completely in control in their matches over the lower seeds in their group.
Yeah, we're seeing the plot unfold, aren't we? The drama on the day builds. We started this 4 hours ago, wondering what we might see, what might unfold before us. Who's going to win those first games in those divisions that have the dynamic seeding, or dynamic scheduling rather. And we're getting the answers now, and so you're starting to see it play out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. And in most cases, it looked like it was the top seed that's gone ahead and done it, but or the higher seed, the second seed. But what we're seeing now is we're seeing things set up well, and the 4 semifinalists are going to be determined. But those games this evening, and they are going to be amongst the last games this evening, are going to, they're going to be on Sunset, which, as you've seen here in this view that we've had here at the Kino South Sports Complex, is absolutely amazing. But also, those are going to be important to determining who plays whom. So if you win your matches, you are most likely going to be, I think perhaps we'll say it, an opponent that you match up with better.
Yeah, I think, if I have my geography right, the Santa Catalina mountains that we're looking at there, just to our north, provide a great backdrop for the games.
Watermark defensively.
And
Ludeman, sorry, go ahead, Sars.
No, and I think someone local can correct me, but maybe the Santa Rita ones to the west are the ones that sun's going to set over that you were just mentioning, creating that awesome sunset for us for these evening matches. And
Soronis took that. Aisen Soronis took that fantastic mark.
Sprayed it out on the full.
And Michael Coffey, well, he's going to need a cuppa because that was out on the full.
Yeah, classic problem, right? You try to finesse it too much, and all of a sudden all your mechanics break down. He was leaning back, leaning to the side, trying to massage that inbounds and feather it over into his teammate. He needs to just go through his normal mechanics on the kicking there. Everything fell apart because he was trying to get a little too cute with it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up by, 46 points, you can afford to do that to an extent, but
it's easily forgotten, but you'd like to see him execute nonetheless.
Absolutely. Seattle's lead over LA, by the way, is now 37-1. So it looks like Seattle, as we say, Seattle and Baltimore are going to be through from Pool B here in Division 2. And
really nice intercept mark out of Austin there. And again, they've been able to do that today. They've been able to get tackles. They've shown some real grit. But right here, hand over possession again, right back to San Diego. That's been the story of the day here for the Crows.
And the ball has gone through, and it looks like it's going out on the full, so it'll be a free kick the other way. Brian Bauer, Stan Sarbacker here with you. Glad to have your company, no matter where you're joining us. Whoop, there we go. Well, only 2 fell this time. It was every single one in Denver a few months ago.
The wind it started swirling a little bit a couple games ago. It was out of the east earlier today. Now it's a little more consistently out of the west, but caught a stack of our rosters and sent them flying. It was alphabet soup all over the media box for a moment.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't even like the good kind. It was like the, but anyway. As the ball is sent towards the sticks, and once again by San Diego, and that one bounces through and does, in fact, get a point. So another point for the Lions, and they go to 7-3-45 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. And no score yet for Austin. And I think Austin, in a way, they like playing higher up. They want to get these guys like higher opportunities. Of course, when you have them go up against a team like San Diego, it's always going to be tough, but they're holding their own. This one is sent down. Ball goes to ground. Sent in. And, what a nice mark. Off the foot of Rob Pisalo, and then marked by the 65, who we do have a number for, so sorry, y'all. And he'll go back. He's walking with the football, and he's walked a long way back. He's going to be out 60 meters out. And it's marked defensively, and that ends that threat on this occasion.
It was one of those few times, Brian, that mark we saw where Austin's been a little more commanding in the air, and then immediately afterwards he handballs it off in a much deeper penetrating kick, and Austin unable to mark it, also unable to bring it to ground. So really a lot of letdowns in their forward line, not being able to keep these surges forward going for the Austin Crows.
Ball gets picked up, and big tackle once again put in there by Loper. And we'll have a ball up directly across from us. 5 fields going on all at once, and of course we're here on field 1. We have cameras over, actually on all 5 fields. We have cameras going over on field 2 as well, and we're hoping to get that rejigged for you in case you're wondering where the games on field 2 are, where the Gremlins have decided that they were going to stow away in the bags. But other than that, we're doing well.
You hear us apologize every once in a while for technical difficulties, but I don't think people appreciate how challenging it is to put on a production like this. You're not in a stadium where it's all set up and wired and ready to go and consistent every time. Every park we go to is different. The team does a great job sort of figuring it out, all the little nits and differences and such at every facility. So we do apologize when stuff conks out, but technology is what it is, and we do the best we can.
I should mention that we are self-producing this, led by our production manager, Jerry Long, who has done a magnificent job, and we have seen him go back and forth over the last few hours, just making sure everybody has what they need and just trying to get everything going. And that's something that San Diego has definitely done in this match so far, as the ball is tied up on the wing position. On the commentary side, with about 8.25 minutes, it'll probably be less than that. I would say probably like 7.5 minutes to go.
Michael Coffey with a clever little pickup there. He was spinning as he's picking up the ball. Immediately took himself out of danger, actually. So that's an experienced move.
This is a San Diego Lions team that defeated Baltimore to win the 2019 regional national championships in Division III. 2 years removed from winning the division. Becoming the runner-up in Division III when they fell to Seattle at home in 2017 at that Nationals. Here is a kick on the way. Can the Crows get on the board? They do. It's a minor score off the foot of Jose Lopez. And the Crows Rezzies are on the board. Watch AFL scoreboard. They have 1 point, and it's 7-44 for the men in maroon and blue.
Yeah, glad to see them hit the scoreboard. Their effort's certainly been there. The tackling at times has been ferocious. They're unfortunately given the ball back right away after they collect possession. It's both demoralizing and exhausting because you work so hard to get it, and then to give it right back, you put yourself right back on defense.
It really is. Well, we've got some more score updates, which we'll give to you in just a moment, and it's. As we say, as we look at the other Division II match that's going on, as we said, Seattle in control. They lead LA 37-2. Philly and Boston look like they're going to go to 2-0 as they are up on Minnesota 27-14. The team that was the 4 seed in that group, and Boston, who won Division III in 2019, they won Division II in 2022. It's another behind for Austin, by the way. So on the Watch AFL scoreboard, they now go to 2 points. It is 45-2. And Philly has won 3 national they won in 2018, they won in 2021, and they won again in 2023. To go with the one that they won in 2002, the first year that Division III was a thing. So they're looking really good after defeating essentially the top 2 teams in that pool. So we'll see how that goes.
Really good signs for the Lions there. Andrew Bell just on that last play, diving to smother a ball that was going through for a goal. He doesn't have to do that at this point of the game. It's in the bag for them. But you never know, 1, when percentage matters, and 2, that's the sort of thing that lifts your teammates. That says to me they are locked in, their heads are in this, and they are intent on carrying this success through the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Their heads are very much in this game. And if they're trying to, they want to see this game out. It looks like it's going to be, and again, Well, I think percentage, if it does come into play here, Dano. I mean, one, it will be a tie if it comes into play, but I think it's just good to kind of see out the victory. You don't want to let you want to balance it. You don't want to let your foot off the gas pedal, but at the same time, you still have another game to play in a few hours' time. And they're going to be playing, I believe, at 4. San Diego, yeah, they're going to be playing again at 4 o'clock. They'll be over on Field 3. So against DC. So it will be, and DC is going to be tough, no matter what the stakes are. It's going to be a really, really strong game against them.
Well, a developing theory this morning, since we saw 2 West Coast teams go down in the 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. games to East Coast sides. The East Coast folks are out of bed, and their body clocks are more in tune with the game times. Maybe that flips this afternoon, and the West Coast side start having more successes.
There's another one for San Diego. That's another one. That's their 8th, 8-3-51. And that's the highest score I believe we've seen on this field. And I'm just scrolling to see if we've seen one on an other field. Let's see.
I think you're right, Brian. I don't care who you are. In 2 quarters of football or 2 halves in our tournament format, that's a lot of offensive production.
It really is.
San Diego looking really, really sharp. Maybe not as silky or smooth as New York maybe was with their kick-to-kick this morning, but boy, they have gotten it done today. They've been absolutely smothering in terms of the rebounds for repulsing the Crows' offensive attacks, and then they've gotten on their own attack very quickly as a result.
Minnesota, by the way, has the high score of the day with 60 in their game against Portland in the first round of the day in Men's Division 3. As the ball comes out to the near side, again, our thanks to Tasmanian, to Coopers, as well as to Visit Tucson for their support and all of our sponsors.
I'll echo that, Brian. We can't do this without the help of those folks, and we see a lot of their representatives come out to this, and we hope they see a good time and see the value. But man, what an extraordinary event, and we couldn't do it without them. So big thanks to our sponsors.
We have a couple of new sponsors, and Macquarie, who is a global finance in the global finance sector, he's there. And being there, speaking of which, is Wayne Hagan, who's all by himself, and he thought about going in. In fact, he ended up taking a step back and sending this one out towards the post, and then finally it's cleared. Did he kick that towards the wrong way? No, he kicked it the right way. I thought that I don't know what I thought, but it's marked either way by Andrew Bell.
There might be a knee injury here. We'll see how he gets up, how he's moving when he stands. Maybe a calf cramp. We'll see.
Maybe.
The way he went down and was sort of holding, he looked like he might have tweaked a knee, but I think maybe a calf cramp or calf injury. We'll watch him walk off after this free kick. But
Andrew Bell, either way, has the free kick. It's up on the way. It is tailing off to the side, and he has missed the lot. It's out of bounds on the full. About a minute to go, and San Diego is going to cruise home. And as we say, it'll be San Diego and Seattle who will play, or rather San Diego and Baltimore who will play later today at 4 o'clock. Both of those teams are assured of the semifinals.
It's a pity that's not broadcast, but if you're on the ground, go get over to that one, because that one's, I think, going to be a ripper.
And Seattle and DC, or rather, it's going to be. I think I had it. Yes, you have Seattle and I've lost the plot here. As the ball is out in the middle of the ground, this one goes in short and over the top, almost taken. Banged out to the near side, and it is marked. It is taken by Dom Gibbs, and Gibbs will try to get it the heck out of there, and it's marked right in the chest, taken by the 65 for Austin. Not much time left. Mark taken in the middle there by Hogan, who's been their rock so far. Mark is taken right to the left of us, and they're going to try and play on quickly, but the mustard came off the old hot dog. And
taken high there in the tackle. That'll keep this forward surge going for the Crows here. Excuse me.
The ball gets sent in, so it'll be Seattle and Baltimore. San Diego will play D.C. later on, and there is the siren. And all 4 of those teams will go into the semifinals. It will be L.A. and the Austin Reserves in a consolation match, but San Diego, much the best. They come out winners by 49 points. The final score, it's the San Diego Lions, 8 goals, 3 behinds, 51 points. The Austin Crows, 2 behinds, and SARS, it's a straightforward victory, but, the Crows fought as well as they could.
Yeah, I said it multiple times during the game. The effort was obviously there. The tackling at times was ferocious. They did manage a few intercept marks, but their big downfall is they gave the ball back immediately, and that is demoralizing and it's exhausting. Just in this last sequence, we saw them finally string a few kick-to-kick together. San Diego probably knew the game was in the bag and the clock winding down, so their defense might have let up there. But all hats off to the San Diego Lions. They're a well-coached team. I think they are one to watch throughout this tournament, given what I just saw. Their effort to repulse the Crows, building up and coming forward, lock down those corridors, smother balls, spoil marks, and then quickly collect and get on the rebound forward. That was very impressive. Don't crack open the champagne yet, Brian. Crack open the Nutter Butters maybe, but don't crack open the champagne yet. But they got to be pleased with that result, the Lions.
Absolutely, they do. Well, as we say, they're on to the semifinals, and so are the Seattle Grizzlies, who were 51-2 up. And I don't know, we're waiting on the final status of that. And over on Division III, again, this is around the grounds for Watch AFL. Philly and Boston 41 over Minnesota 20. And the Denver Bulldogs now have the top score. The Bulldogs reserves in Division IV as they lead Wasatch 62-19. Coming up next here on Cooper's Field, SARS will be joined once again by Jason Becker in Men's Division III action as the Chicago Swans take on the Arizona Hawks. The Hawks winners over Columbus earlier, and so were the Swans winners over Nashville. 2 1-0 teams in Division III. You won't want to miss it. When we come back, you're watching the 2025 USAFL National Championships from Tucson, Arizona here on AussieRulesUSA.com.